myself, and it's just an awkward silence.
Started
So
that.
it'll be okay.
You started that mid-sip. I was like,
It's fine. I don't know. I can't even remember what I did with Cassidy. I don't know.
bloopers.
Me and Cassidy have a blooper as well, or some bloopers, so I might actually do a blooper after.
That would be so crazy.
Okay, I guess we'll just get into it. Roll with it.
Okay.
Mine and Cassie's was very rough, so if we're all over the place, it's fine.
Okay. Well, oh my goodness, you can see my watch.
It's
Okay,
so
sorry.
Cute. Okay, hello everybody. Back again with one of my very good friends, GraceLea, and
hello.
Sorry. I didn't even give you the chance. Okay. Hello everybody. We are back again with one of my good friends, GraceLea.
Hello.
We're gonna be talking about the Chronicles of Narnia again, I guess. Like I did with Cassidy. So I don't know where to start.
So we're talking about specific ones. Are we just talking about in general?
Well, we can do like all of them, and then
obviously.
in general,
yeah,
I guess. So kind of both. You can talk about individual books or the whole series in general.
Okay, well, it doesn't matter because I love the series anyways. But first off, I just want to say that I've read this book. Series. I started this series. Actually, I think I read The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe first when I first started reading it. And then I was like, oh, wait, there's a series. I gotta, start at the beginning. Because, I can't start in the middle. Can't do that.
Mm-mm.
But, so I started reading The Magician's Nephew, and I just read it straight through in, one summer, I think. And then for the Christmas that year, my parents got me the Focus on the Family audio drama version for Christmas. Literally, the rest of the Christmas break, I was just, in my bedroom, listening. And, kind of reading along. So that was really where my kind of, hyperfixation with Narnia first started. And I also think, this is, really kind of off topic already. I'm already going on topic. I think this is kind of, where my hyperfixation, I want to say that a lot, with medieval, the medieval era started, because that series was just so heavily steeped in that, and I love it so much.
I did not think about that.
Yeah.
Okay. I love the Focus on the Family Adventures in Odyssey audiobooks. Yes. Amazing.
I recently started to listen to those again, actually.
Oh, I want to listen to them again so bad.
They took off Father Gilbert's.
Huh?
They took off Father Gilbert's.
I don't know that I ever listened to those.
Anyways.
I'm so sorry.
It's not Narnia, so we're not talking about it.
But I think I might have mentioned in the How to Read the Chronicles of Narnia that when I listened to the audiobooks, which were the Focus on the Family audiobooks, that's when I realized that I had not read them in chronological order. I read them in publishing order. I didn't even know there was a difference until I listened to those CDs. And it makes it so much more understandable. I don't think I said that grammatically correct.
So,
but
chronological order starts with Magician's Nephew?
Yes.
So you read them in chronological order?
I have. When I reread them for the reviews, I did read them in chronological order.
So which one do you like better, though? You said you liked the order that they were written?
No, chronological order.
Me too. Because why are you... I'm sorry. Why... The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe were supposed to be first, right?
Mm-hmm. It was meant to be a standalone.
Okay, so that's why it was first.
Yes. And then I
get it now.
Okay, yeah. So I feel like C.S. Lewis just kind of as he gained inspiration to add to Narnia, that's how he wrote the rest of them.
Yeah, I get that.
But I understand reading in publication order, because then you see kind of C.S. Lewis's thought process in creating Narnia. But for your first time read, I recommend at least
for the emotional experience.
Yes,
read it
for the emotional experience.
Yes,
especially when you get to the last battle. We'll get to that. We'll get to that.
Oh,
Okay, so when Cassie and I did it, we went through every single book and briefly talked about like our favorite parts and the biblical religious things that we got from it. So to start with The Magician's Nephew, favorite parts about it, religious, biblical ties. So with Cassidy, what I mentioned with her, and I think I mentioned it when I made my own videos, is that the parallel between The Magician's Nephew and God creating the earth was very interesting, and also the part with Diggory in the garden, to me very much paralleled Adam and Eve in the garden, but Diggory did not fall for the same trick that Eve did.
So yeah, so it's kind of like C.S. Lewis was trying to write a what if story there.
Okay.
Yeah, like what if
Eve hadn't. Yeah. Okay. I like that. I like that.
Yeah, but
And one thing, real quick, that Cassie said, kind of about the whole series, is that I had never thought of it this way, but throughout all of the books, even the ones that aren't specifically in Narnia, like The Horse and His Boy, um, there's always this presence and like this talk of Aslan, like how God is everywhere in the earth and he's always
100%,
there. And that is just not something that I thought about when I was reading the books, but I thought that was such an interesting, like, I don't know what I'm trying to say, but it was interesting that she caught that. I did not even think about it.
Yeah, that's really neat. And I feel like another thing in every book in that series, there's a resident present evil that always has a connection to the evil before it.
Yes.
Because like in Magician's Nephew, Jadis was the White Witch in the
oh my gosh, The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. Yeah, that one.
Yeah, but in The Horse and His Boy, I don't know. The Cormans, they're just kind of there. Like,
yeah. I feel like in that one, the evil.
It wasn't really. It wasn't really a supernatural evil. It was more of like a political, like.
Yeah. Which they did have their god, little G, that they worshipped.
Like Tash, yeah.
Yeah. But
he wasn't mentioned, really.
No, he wasn't mentioned. It just mentioned that they weren't believers of Aslan, but.
Yeah. Which may have influenced how they, so it was kind of tied.
Yes.
Into more of a.
Okay. Yeah. I guess we can. I don't know. Onto The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. Obviously, there's the like what with oh my gosh, I can't think straight. In The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, with Aslan, well, Edmund was a traitor. Aslan traded himself in, allowed the White Witch to, I guess, sacrifice him in the place of Edmund, which is very reminiscent of the redemption story.
Yes, it's a very good allegory of the redemption.
Yes, and Edmund's and Edmund's redemption. That is why The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe is my favorite book.
Well, I won't say The Lion, Witch, and the Wardrobe is my favorite book. I love it. It's definitely my top 3 because of that story.
Yes. We can get to. I know which one's your favorite, so let's wait until we get to that book, and then you can tell everybody. But that's why Edmund's redemption. That is why The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe is my favorite, because it's just he went from being loud, obnoxious, picking on everybody, not laughing with them.
Of course, it would be raining.
And he was just insufferable. And
kind of like somebody else, like Eustace.
We'll get to him too. We will get to him.
You thought I was talking about?
No. But then it says in the end that he was called Edmund the Just, and he was wise in counsel and judgment. The like complete 180 that he took from his childhood, his redemption story, and then growing up to be it's okay. And then growing up,
we're so unserious.
Cassie and I laugh like the whole time. It's okay. And then being Oh, I completely lost my train of thought.
I'm so sorry.
It's okay.
The
But then
180.
yeah, complete 180 to being known as being wise. And also, I think it does mention that he was very quiet and really only spoke up when his wisdom was needed, which, like I said, complete 180 to his this
Yeah.
loud, obnoxious bully that he was at the beginning of
Mm.
Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. So
I don't know if you have noticed this, but I feel like you have because I feel like we've talked about this before. But
possibly.
you know that the reason why the mice got their talking ability was because was because that's my glasses.
It's okay.
Was because they chewed the cords off of Aslan.
Yes, that is
And
something.
now, do you think that he would have been able to like break them himself, or do you think he would have had to get somebody else to do it?
Hmm.
This is like I don't know. It's not very
I never
relevant.
thought about that. Um, that is something that I forgot to mention, I think, in the plot summary was that the mice became talking creatures because of that. Um, and that is something that I did not remember until this reread. So I was like mind blown. But I feel like, I'm trying to think if there's like a biblical like tie to that. I don't think there is. I think that might have been just something that he threw in there.
Yeah, because
C.S. Lewis threw in there.
I feel like C.S. Lewis when he wrote, well, he wrote this one first.
Mm-hmm.
So
And we'll see from what I've read, he wasn't planning on creating a series. So everything in The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe that he brought into the other books is like he was like, "Oh, I already wrote this. Let's give it a reason."
yeah.
So,
So I feel like, but the all the other animals that he had got to talk in the first book, he had just, I mean, it was the ones that he had already had talking in the first,
mm-hmm.
I mean, the first one that he actually wrote.
Yeah.
So I feel like he just threw that in because he was like, well, why didn't I make the mice talk? Because I don't know. I
Mm.
feel like the first thing that I would not want to be taller than normal and be able to talk
Or
are
mice.
mice.
Which it just mentioned that like Eustace
Oh
is
yeah, he's like,
like
take it away, the horrid thing.
yeah, like
Like,
Eustace does not want anything to do with Reba Cheap.
I love Reba
But
Cheap.
I did love that the fact that the talking mice were giving the ability to talk because of what they did for Aslan. I do think that without the mice, Aslan would have been able, like he still would have
Yeah,
come
you would. Yeah,
back. But I kind of wish we could sit down with C.S. Lewis
exactly. Like
and ask him if there was a reason behind it. I never, I don't know because, like I said, with The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, that was meant to be the only book, and at least as far as I know, from what I've read, it was meant to be a standalone. There wasn't meant to be six other books, and he just happened to throw some mice in there chewing the cords off Aslan. So I'm wondering if he had like if there was a reason for it. I don't know. I'll have to think on that.
we'll never know.
Okay, let's move on. The next one is The Horse and His Boy, right? Chronologically?
Yes.
Okie dokie, GraceLea. I will let you have the floor on this one.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Okay, so first of all, I am a diehard romantic at heart. So first of all, I don't know if any of you have read The Horse and His Boy, but there's a little bit of, there's a little bit of like, uh, I like the banter between Erebus and Shasta.
Oh, mm-hmm.
I think it's so funny because they're like, these two kids are like fussing back and
Mm-hmm.
forth, and then they end up getting married. So like,
Yes.
but I like how C.S. Lewis wrote it.
Mm-hmm.
Like he said, so they got married so they could argue more
So they could
conveniently.
argue more conveniently, yes. I really do love that.
But anyways, so I really had to think back and think about The Horse and His Boy before I could come to a conclusion about like, oh, well, this really is a biblical, allusion to in this area. So when, um, so I don't know, you remember Shasta was riding on the pony. He was like he got left behind by the hunting party from King Loon.
Oh, at the end, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Towards
sorry.
the end. I like
My
jumped all the
mind,
way back to the end.
my mind was stuck in the beginning. I was like, Bree? Was it when he was running on Bree? No, okay. At the end.
Yeah, but I mean, I can start at the beginning if you'd like me to.
Oh no, we can skip around. I don't
Okay,
mind.
okay, don't mind me. um, but when he is, and then Aslan appears next to him,
Mhm.
whatever, he's like, "Well, I'm with you, whatever."
Mhm.
That just reminds me of the Bible verse in the Bible. It's like, "Lo, I'm with you always, even to the end of the world."
Oh,
I was,
I
I
love
read that, and I
that.
was like, "Oh my goodness, this is so amazing."
I did not think about that. I'm so glad I decided to sit down with you and Cassidy because y'all are bringing new revelation about this series to me. Oh, I love that. Now, I know you told me that the overall story of The Horse and His Boy is a redemption story, once again.
Yeah, because well, there is a element in it that is kind of like a redemption because Shasta sits there and listens to all of their plans and
Mhm.
stuff. He doesn't say anything.
Mhm.
So I don't know. I mean, that's kind of, but I don't know where I was going with that when I told you that because I think I was thinking about the Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, but
Okay.
still kind of
Well, to me, Bree,
Bree is that.
yes.
That's what we had.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. That's what I was thinking about.
It was
Bree.
Bree.
Oh my goodness, I love those how Bree like the character development of Bree
Mhm.
because you
Yes.
can tell like throughout the book that he has character development.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. And
And
one thing that I think I brought it up with Cassidy. I think I brought it up. One of us did. Was with Bree. He was a Narnian, or he is a Narnian horse. He's from Narnia. He is Narnian. He knows Aslan, and he did not listen to the council in his life and played in a field that he was not supposed to be in, and was taken. Isn't that how that happened?
yeah,
And
his mom told him.
hmm was made to be a Calorman horse, which to me kind of resembled not listening to the counsel in your life, and you'll end up in trouble if you don't.
Yes, 100%.
Um, and then along with that is during the book we hear Bree talk about how he's learned one thing that he loved to do was roll in the fields, or like roll on the ground, and he learned that from the Clorman horses, and he almost didn't feel worthy enough to go back to Narnia because he was like, I haven't grown up in Narnia. What if the other Narnian horses don't enjoy rolling?
Don't roll.
Don't roll in
Do
like
talking horses roll?
the talking horses roll. And to me, it's almost like Bree he still believed in God. Well, Aslan, which is Narnia's version of God. Um, but he still believed in Aslan, but he was, you could say, a backslider because he had left,
Yeah.
and when he's coming back, he felt so much shame for, I guess, where he'd been, that he almost didn't go back, right? Because I want to say it. Oh yeah, when they were with um
Oh yeah, because he tells the hermit, "I
the
shall
hermit.
never."
That's
Yeah, I shall never see Narnia.
Yeah, he almost wanted to stay. Like he almost stayed with the hermit because he didn't feel worthy enough
Yeah.
to go back to Narnia. So that was something that I thought about while I was talking to Cassidy. I was like, it's almost like he's a backslider almost, and that he
Yeah.
leaves Narnia and then he wants to come back, but there's so much shame for what he's done, where he's come from, that he almost doesn't go back. So
That's powerful. Now we're cooking with gas.
okay, is there anything else you want to say about
Mm.
why is it your favorite? Is it because of Shasta and
No, I don't know. There's just something about it. I just like the storyline. I feel
okay?
like that, and then the silver chair is like my second favorite.
We will get into that one
Oh
too.
yes,
Okay, what's after Prince
Prince
Caspian?
Caspian.
Ah, okay. Where does this one rank for you?
Probably about a 4.
I think it's third for me.
I don't know.
I think.
Yeah.
Okay, do you
Yeah.
have anything to say about?
Well,
Well,
well. um, I don't know. I mean, First of all, let's talk about the name Prunaprismia. Why are you naming your kid that? I mean, no hate, but like,
I completely forgot. She's only brought up like once or twice in like the first 2 or 3 chapters, and then like her actual name. Then she's just referred to as his aunt, right? Isn't that his
yeah,
aunt?
yeah,
Yeah. Okay.
because it's Miraz's wife.
Yeah. Um. So with that one, I'm trying to like quickly. I know everybody watching has heard this twice because I'm basically saying the same thing this one that I did to Cassidy. But for that one, what was the name of their people?
No, that's not cool.
It was like it didn't it start with a T or something?
Telmarines.
Yes, I could not think of that when I talked to Cassidy. So the Telmarines, like generations before, took over Narnia and started like ruling over Narnia, and they are trying to get rid of every like semblance of the old Narnian ways and of
Like all the
Aslan.
talking animals and the
Talking creatures.
dances in the woods and all that.
Yeah. And so much so that they like put the trees to sleep and and even some of the Narnian people began to doubt Aslan.
Which
Which
I feel like those, hear me out. I feel
okay.
like the ones that were like not believing in, um, I noticed something I noticed is the ones that were like not believing in old Narnia anymore. Like, are you talking about like,
Like I know was it Nickabrick, the black dwarf?
okay, yeah, okay, you're talking about those people.
Mm-hmm.
Those people, like
The ones that were Narnian but
that
didn't
didn't
believe in
believe in
old
Narnia
Narnia.
anymore.
Yeah, like the
Those are the
dwarves, talking
ones that
creatures.
originally were with the witch.
Ooh, yeah, because he does mention that Aslan. He said, "Well, Aslan hasn't been known to be the kindest to dwarves. He was the kind. He was kind to the dwarves that were like on his side,
Yeah.
but a majority of the dwarves were with the
The witch.
witch."
Which something I don't understand because he said that he wasn't kind to the dwarves, so the wicked witch wasn't wicked witch. The white witch.
I said that too.
Wrong.
Wrong story.
Wrong story.
The white witch.
The white witch had dwarves as her slaves.
Yeah, the dwarves were her slaves. So she wasn't nice to them either. But the dwarf that was her like slave driver, he was a red dwarf. Trumpkin was a red dwarf, but Aslan was kind to him. So but I
Which he
really
didn't believe in Aslan though.
Huh?
He didn't believe in Aslan at first.
I know
though.
he was one of those that was like, I don't know that Aslan is real, but I'm behind Caspian because he wasn't trying to suppress old Narnia. He was trying to bring old Narnia back. His was it Professor Cornelius? He was a professor.
Dr. Cornelius.
Doctor. Okay, I couldn't remember if he was professor or doctor.
I have a whole list of like
but he was the one that brought told Caspian about Aslan and old Narnia. And Trumpkin, although he was kind of on the fence of whether he believed in Aslan or not, he was still, I'm behind you all the way. And I really liked that. But I think it was kind of a warning to not like stray too far from God because even the Narnian people kind of started to not even believe in old Narnia. And yeah, that's kind of what I got from that part of it.
Yeah, that's powerful.
Is there anything else? I feel like there's so much more, but I just can't think.
Like we should just like take a whiteboard and be like, okay, so this is
That
what happened here.
that meme of the guy with like on a
Like,
corkboard
it's
all
like
the
he's
red
like-
lines.
Yeah.
So
All of
this
the
happened in this
connections.
book, and then it also happened in this one. And
Yeah.
If there's anything else you want to say about that, move on.
I don't know. I just like how all of their treasures were preserved in that treasure room.
Ooh, yeah.
I love that. That was very sad.
I did love that.
Because, like, that was the saddest part of the whole book, I think, was
really
all them coming to the Care Parable and everything being in ruins.
In ruins. Yes.
Not the treasures, though. They were, like, still intact.
Yes. The treasure room was
That was really cool.
I wonder, there's got to be some biblical tie to that.
Where your treasure is?
No.
No. I just, thought of the first treasure verse that come to mind.
Yeah. I don't know.
Neither moth nor rust doth corrupt.
Hmm.
Anyways, I'm just throwing out verses. This is why you don't get a Bible quiz on here. I
So
guess moving on.
to Voyage of the Dawn Treader. This one is my second favorite. Almost first favorite. Very close. But I think the only reason I put it second was because Lion the Witch and the Wardrobe is just the ultimate. In my mind, it was the first book. It was the first one I ever read. So I just thought, I don't know.
I get that.
But The Voyage of the Dawn Treader, very close second. And I think the main reason is because of Eustace's redemption.
Yes.
I guess I really love a good redemption story.
Yeah, they are good.
So, do you have anything to say about anything in the
That's
book?
one of the reasons why I love that story too. I mean, it's not my most favorite, but it is up there. Which, I mean, I don't have. I can't say that I have a least favorite either. You know.
I know.
But
see, when I was ranking mine, I was like, I hate to put. I really, honestly think The Magician's Nephew is at the bottom for me. But listen, I was like, I don't even want to put any on the bottom.
yeah, because
like
it's like so like sacrilege.
So I was like, I just don't. I don't know. I hate to even rank them because they're all so good. That's why I gave the whole series a 5-star. I do have favorites, but I couldn't choose which
we have
one.
some 7 stars.
Yeah, they're all 5-star. I just have some 7 stars. I'll say it that way. But Eustace's redemption.
Yeah.
To me, there was even in some cases there were even more things in Eustace's redemption, like the part where Aslan strips him of the dragon skin and then clothes him back as Eustace, but a better Eustace, kind of reminded me of like repentance and baptism.
Yeah.
And we didn't really.
That's good.
Huh?
That's good.
Sorry. I just made a really weird noise. But we didn't see that with Edmund. But I don't know. I really like that C.S. Lewis added that in there. And I think I love the Voyage of the Dawn Treader.
Yeah.
And go ahead.
I do want to shoehorn this in though.
Mm-hmm.
When he is, when he run away from the group on that island. I do have something to say about Deathwater Island as well.
Ooh, okay.
I love Deathwater Island.
Yes.
But when he was like going into the dragon's cave, at first he was like really uncomfortable. Because he was like, oh, what is all this stuff, And he like looked around, he found it was gold coins, he was stuffing it all in his pockets, whatever. And then even though he was still uncomfortable, he went to sleep. But then when he woke up, he found out that he was comfortable. But that was because he was a dragon. Spoiler alert. Yeah, because he is comfortable in his iniquity.
Ooh. Ooh. Okay.
Clock that T.
And then I'm not gonna say the exact quote. I hate that this word, the 3-letter A word, is in the quote. But my favorite quote from the book is when Edmund and Eustace are talking, because Edmund was the first to learn that Eustace had been turned back, and I love that he was the first one because of Edmund's own redemption.
Yeah, he could relate.
Yes, he could relate a lot to Eustace and what he had gone through, and Eustace was like, "I'm so sorry. I was so terrible to all of you," and he felt very shameful. And Edmund was the exact quote. He was like, "You were only a 3-letter A word. I was a traitor." That quote sends shivers down my spine. It's something like that.
Yeah, it was Jack.
Oh, okay. Yeah. But that
was a very powerful quote.
Something about that quote, I love it so much. And amazing. I like that Edmund was there for him to, I don't know. So now they went to Deathwater Island before they went to the island with the duffel bags, right? Okay, so we'll go to Deathwater Island now. Say your piece about that.
Deathwater Island. Oh my goodness. This was. I feel like this is something that was looked over, but I feel like it's a very powerful, point that should not be looked over as easily as it probably is,
Mm-hmm.
because it was like a very quick stop, because
It
they
was.
realized the danger of that island. It was like lift. They got out of there, baby.
Yeah. I think Deathwater Island only got one chapter, and
Yeah.
the Dragon Island got several with Eustace, and then even the island with the puddle. No, I'm thinking of
That
Puddle
was.
Glum the Marshmallow in the Silver Chair.
I love Puddle Glum. Oh my
We'll get to him. We'll get to him with the Duffel Puds. That's what they're called.
Okay, Devil Buds. Yeah.
Even
They were
that
monopods.
got several. Yeah, they even got several chapters.
Mm.
But Deathwater Island
Because there was a
very
lot that
quick.
happened at that island.
There was a lot that happened, but Deathwater Island only did get one chapter,
Yeah,
so
but
it
I feel
was
like
very
it
quick.
was. I feel like it was like so powerful though.
Mm-hmm.
At that chapter, because listen, there is. I don't know. It just makes me want to cry, because I feel like you don't understand the danger of where you're at until you look down and you're like about to.
Wow, about to mess up.
Yeah.
And some people don't realize.
And greed can very quickly take hold of you,
Oh,
as
yes.
that chapter is revealed.
Yes, it
And
is
then
like
Aslan,
an instant.
And then Aslan just shows up like at just the right moment.
Yes.
I don't know. That was a little freebie.
Yeah.
But
And sometimes people don't realize it until they're already in it. They don't realize. But they were so close to all being turned into gold and like not really drowned. They wouldn't drown. They would turn into gold, but like in the river, gone forever. And wow, that's amazing.
Yeah. Anyways,
see, I got the greed part, but I didn't really get that. Like the part about greed is very apparent because they probably even say the actual word greed, but with them almost getting caught up in it, and then they were right on the edge, and
literally at the toes of the boots.
literally, and yeah, wow. Okay, do you have anything else to say about?
Mm-mm.
Okay, so let's go on. Do you have anything to say about anything between? Actually, the island with the monopods might be next. Their next stop. I can't remember.
I think it is. Yeah.
Okay. Now with that one, to me, so there was the magician, and he was kind of over the monopods, which later they're named the Duffelpuds because they couldn't get the name. Like they were called something else,
and then they kept agreeing on one thing and then disagreeing on the other.
Yeah. Well, they were called something else, like Duffers or something.
Duffers.
But they also knew they were monopods, so they just kind of combined it into Duffelpuds.
Sure. Let's go with that.
Let's go with that. So with them, there's the magician.
Yeah. And they do not like him.
They do not like him. But the magician is kind of over them, like seeing over them.
So he's kind of like, I feel like he's kind of like a fatherly figure.
Or like a pastor. To me, he seemed very much like a pastor.
Like a shepherd kind of.
Yes, like a shepherd. And
we very bouncy flock.
Yes. We learn later Aslan shows up to the magician, but not to the Duffelpuds themselves. And we learn that the Duffelpuds, they're mad at the magician the whole time because they're like, oh, he uglified us. But we learn from the magician that they were actually very vain, and he changed them for the better because they were, I don't know if it was because they were vain that it was holding them back. There was something, he like uglified them for a good reason. The Duffelpuds just didn't understand that. And then they decided to take matters into their own hands, make themselves invisible, ended up not being what they wanted, and then wanted to return the way the magician had made them.
Yeah.
And to me, the magician reminded me of like a pastor, like our shepherd. Mm-hmm. And sometimes our pastor makes decisions, sets up fences that even if, like, we may not like them, but there is a reason for it.
We don't understand, but they're there for a reason.
Yes. And as we saw, I mean, with the Duffelpuds, they tried to take matters into their own hands and ended up worse, and wanted to go back to how the magician had made it. Also, Aslan showed himself to the magician, but not to the Duffelpuds. And to me, that also reminded me of how God will talk to our pastor sometimes
and not
about
to us.
Yeah, and not to us. Now, we still need to pray every day, read our Bible, and sometimes we will get things through prayer, through reading our Bible, but also there will be times where God will talk to your pastor.
And we have to trust our pastor.
Our pastor. And I loved that part of it. Like when I was reading it and I thought about that, I was like,
oh, yeah.
I really liked that. I think the Duffelpuds have always been one of my favorite parts. Like, there's Eustace is the first part, his redemption. That's like my second favorite part, I think, about the Voyage of the Dawn Treader, is that it really kind of shows the importance of having a pastor and listening to your pastor, having trust in your pastor because God set your pastor over you for a reason, and trust him.
Yeah.
If you don't trust your pastor, it might kind of show that you're not trusting God either,
Oh,
because
hallelujah.
God sets your pastor over you. If you don't trust your pastor, you're kind of inadvertently saying that you don't trust God, in my opinion. I don't know.
But I feel like I wish we would have gotten more time with Clipsy though, because I feel like
Who?
Clipsy, the Duffelpuds leader's daughter,
Mm.
because I feel like she would. I don't know. She just sounded really sweet. I don't
When
know.
did we?
Clipsy is only mentioned one time in the entire book, and I could remember her name.
I didn't even think they gave her a name.
Clipsy. Her name was Clipsy.
Oh my gosh, I love that.
Cause
I didn't even realize that it
I'm
gave
gonna
her a
name my daughter
name.
Clipsy.
Listen, Cassidy was like, I loved the name Caspian so much that I almost that was on her baby name list for a while. Was Caspian?
Is it still on it though?
I don't think so. I really love the name Caspian. Grace is like, I might steal that
No,
one.
okay. I'm kind of partial to Hezekiah. But hey, I don't know, cause
I didn't
she
even
says the
realize.
spell that makes him invisible. She goes up there.
Yeah, I
Cause
do remember that. She was
yeah,
the one that.
he said the leader says my Clipsy goes up and says a
Mm,
spell. So yeah.
okay, I did not catch that.
Anyways, that was just a little freebie.
Now, I do have a question. Was there a significance in a girl doing it? Because I feel like they said that there was, but I don't remember why.
It has to be. They said it has to be a girl.
Okay,
But
I didn't know if there was a reason.
They never said why.
Okay, because I remember them saying it had to be a girl, but I don't remember why. If they gave a why. I also don't remember. Do you have a thought about that? Or are you just kind of like there's got to be a reason?
I feel like there was a lot of spells in the book that was like geared towards vanity.
There was, yeah, and Lucy
and girls
fell for
are
one
more,
of them.
and girls are more
vain.
Oh my goodness! Plot twist.
Well, I mean,
that's not everybody, though. You know.
Well, yeah,
but
it is.
Guys are just kind of like, oh, whatever.
Yeah.
And then girls read more into stuff.
Which Lucy did fall into one of the.
Yeah, she one. It was,
hearing what people said about you behind your back.
Yeah.
But I still wonder, is that? Is that the reason why it has to be a girl? I feel like I wonder if whoever is up there, the spells just kind of tailor to them. You think?
I mean, they change based on who's up there?
Yeah.
That's an interesting thought.
I just thought
never
about
that.
I was like, which they said it had to be a girl, but I wonder, when Clipsy went up there.
Were they the same as when Lucy was up there?
Yeah.
I guess we'll have to ask Clipsy. Maybe we can get a hold of her, because she never was mentioned as being on the island.
Yeah. And they didn't really mention having any other girls either. Because, whenever we hear the Duffelpuds, I feel like I always thought of them as all boys, except for the chief's daughter.
Yeah.
That was the only girl mentioned. Surely there are other girls, but she was the only one mentioned. I don't know.
Interesting. Anyways.
There is so much in the Voyage of the Dawn Treader. There's so much stuff that we could talk about. Do you want to is there anything you want to say in between?
I just want to say real quick, I really love the Island of Darkness. Was that an actual island?
I think it was just.
Yeah.
Because I forget which lord they found in the darkness. I can't remember which one.
He stated mentioned that it being an actual island.
I want to say he did, but I can't remember for sure. I don't know.
Because he said, "Fly about to the ship and fly, row, row, row for your lives away from this accursed shore."
Yes, ma'am. I didn't remember that. I feel like there's so much to say. Is there anything you have to say about that? That
I don't know. I just liked how Aslan through the albatross. The
guided them.
albatross is always a symbol of like a good luck symbol for sailors.
Really?
Mhm.
Hmm. Okay. I do believe that was Aslan. I don't know if it
Yeah,
said it, but I
because he
believe
said
that
courage
was.
to your heart, and that's something
Mhm.
that Aslan always like said to Lucy
Yeah.
when because
Yeah.
she was
Yeah.
up in
Yeah.
the crow's nest.
Yeah. Oh.
Anyways,
Anyways, and then there's a lot of stuff like once they reach like the island of the sleeping, the three sleeping lords. Do you have anything to say about that island?
did you notice the knife in the middle
Yes. Didn't they say that was the White Witch's, like that was like the dagger that
that
she
she used to
used
kill
to kill Aslan?
Aslan?
Yes. That's crazy. And then one of this lords almost like tried to kill somebody with it, which is why
Yeah,
they
which is
were
why
put to
they
sleep.
yeah
Yeah.
because it's something that he wasn't supposed to touch.
Mm. Is there anything
If you
else?
if you if you know if you try to dabble in stuff that you're not supposed to be messing with, there's will be consequences.
We do see that
So
a lot, especially in the
yeah.
silver chair. I
Oh,
think I just said civil. The
civil,
silver,
civil,
the silver chair.
silverware.
um,
Where's a knife?
it was a knife.
Silverware.
Oh my
Sorry.
gosh, what time is it? Okay, I got time. I'm supposed to be
Girly,
taking
we have been
pictures,
going for
but I
43
got 2 hours.
minutes.
Huh?
We've been going for 45
It's
minutes.
fine. It'll be its home video. um. Now, then, once they leave that island, it does mention how like the waters grow sweet, and how they like wanted to drink it and like never were really thirsty after that or hungry. Um.
Yeah, I know where you're going with this.
Well, you can take over. I think I might have said it in.
The woman at the well.
Hmm? Oh yeah. The woman
Yeah,
at the well.
yeah. That
Um.
was a allegory kind of.
Yeah.
I
So
feel
I
like.
like how that was kind of
Yeah.
put in there a little bit by C.S. Lewis. He was just like, I'll throw that one in for free. Like it didn't stay on it really. But then it was also part of Reba Cheap's verse where the waters grow sweet. So,
Doubt not, reap for cheap to find all you seek. There is the utter east.
hmm was there anything that happened? They really didn't talk much about. Like, I don't think there was very much that happened between that and the very end.
Other than reap for cheap.
Yeah. Okay, let's get into that now. I remember, I think I cried, especially the first time I
I
read
think I
that
did as
book.
well.
I
I think I
cried
did as well. I'm not gonna
about
lie.
Reepicheep going into Aslan's country, and then also about Edmund and Lucy not being able to go to Narnia again.
My favorite part about that was when he threw um his sword and it
Yes.
landed in the lilies straight up.
Yes. He wouldn't need it anymore. He was going to
No,
Aslan's country. Ah.
he stuck that land then.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
Oh, I love that.
Oh my goodness, you know in the one of the sea people saw Lucy
Mm-hmm.
and it mentioned that if they had known each other in a different world, they would see each other in a different world. They wouldn't have run into each other's arms. So sad.
Don't mention it.
I died.
That was very sweet. But
Yeah.
then I know they mentioned that they were very
Yeah.
hostile people. The sea, they weren't like the mermaids that
Yeah.
the Pevensys knew during their reign in
Yeah.
Narnia.
That was another what if.
Yeah. Ah, that was very sweet. Okay.
Anyways.
Also, I do like the part with Aslan being a lamb when they first see him there at the end of the world.
Yes. Finding the lamb.
I really like that. And then he turned into Aslan. And that is where we learn that Aslan, it's as if Narnia is just another world. And Aslan is just, he told Lucy that she would know him in her world. She would just get to know him by another name. And
That was powerful.
I
That was
really like that.
powerful.
Because up until that point, like if you read them in chronological order, like you see the resemblance between like God and Aslan, the White Witch and the Devil, but it kind of feels weird equating them to each other. But then in the end of the Voyage of the Dawn Treader, you learn that Aslan is just it's like Narnia's word or like name, I guess, for God. So I really liked that at the end. Is there anything else you'd like to say about the Voyage of the Dawn Treader? We spent a lot of time on this book.
Not really, but this is. I'm just gonna like before we change to the next.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember them mentioning what book they mentioned the month of Green Roof in?
Wait, what?
The month of Green Roof. Was that in the Voyage of the Dawn Treader or was it another one? Because I used to have this Narnia dictionary that had like all of like the meanings and stuff of different words that they had in Narnia. Green Roof is like the month of April, our month of April.
I need to find a
Fun
copy of
fact.
this.
I will see if I can find it again because I like left it in some hotel room. Sorry, mom.
Sorry.
But I feel like that's where I left it because after I got back from a trip, I never saw it again.
Oh, I think I do remember them mentioning. I just don't remember which book it is.
Okay, well, it's not relevant right now.
Well, yeah.
So
But now that
I
you
just I
mention it,
just
I do
wanted to know.
remember. Ah, okay. All right. So the one after that is the silver chair, right? Okay. Real quick, the daughter of the man on the like sleeping island. I don't know the name of that, the actual name of the island. Caspian does come
They call it
back.
Ramandu's Island.
Okay, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So his daughter ends up being Caspian's wife and Prince
Don't
Rillian's mom.
yeah? Don't they name her like? What's her name like?
I don't remember if it
Lil.
even.
L-
I don't
Maybe
think.
that was in.
I didn't think they gave her a name. I don't remember them giving her a name.
Okay. Anyways,
But then again, I didn't get Clipsy either, so I very well could have missed
Clipsy.
it. Now with that one, with Prince Rillian, that's his name, right? Rillian. Okay, Prince Rillian. His mother was bitten by a snake and killed. Is there any biblical ties to that? Do you think? Like that alone.
Do you remember where she was bit?
She was laying down on the ground sleeping while they were having like a little party,
Like
and
where?
then
Like where on her body?
I didn't know that it mentioned. It may have,
Okay.
but I don't remember it specifically mentioning it.
This is not. This is not even going to tie in to like the Bible. This is probably not even where C.S. Lewis was trying to go with this. But the snake bruised her and like wherever she was bit, and then later on, Rillian and her seed, her son, bruised the snake's
Mm.
kingdom.
Mm-hmm. I didn't think about that. C.S. Lewis very well could
Interesting.
have thought about that, and that's why he kind of wrote it. Wow, that's
We're getting
definitely a word.
yeah.
Wrote it the way that he did, but with to me, Prince Rillian like sets out for revenge on this snake, right?
Mm-hmm.
So he hunts for months, I think, trying to find this snake
Yeah.
and can't find her.
And then all of a sudden, he comes back in a better mood.
Mm-hmm.
Something's going on.
Yep. And then what was Caspian's trusted advisor's like best friend's name? He was in the Voyage of the Dawn Treader. I just can't remember
Um,
his name.
was it his captain?
I think
Rhinelf? Rhinelf?
I do not remember. But he went with Caspian one day and realized that Caspian at the very
Drinian.
place Drinian,
Drinian.
that's his name. So the very place where Rillian's mom died, he sees this beautiful woman. We are also told that the White Witch was very beautiful, even though she was evil. Who said that? Wait, what? um, so she's very beautiful, and then Rillian forgets the revenge that he wants to act upon. Is that how you say that?
Yeah.
He forgets about the
Yeah.
revenge and wants to, I guess, like he wants this beautiful woman, and he's just like captured by her. And I think it was said the third day that he went there, he never returned. And we later learned that the snake that killed his mother was
The
that beautiful
lady of the
lady.
green kirtle.
Mm-hmm. But to me, that reminded me of he was warned by Drinian to not have anything to do with her. He had a feeling that it was not good, that it was evil. In
And then he still blamed himself.
hmm?
And then Drinian still
Yeah,
blamed
Drinian did
himself.
still blame himself because he allowed Caspian to
Mm.
go. That was very sad. And the fact that
Yeah.
Caspian like rushed at him with a sword or something, and Drinian just stood there, didn't he? And then Caspian, like at the last
And then
second,
he said, I have lost my wife and my son. Shall I lose my friend as well?
yes. Oh, I love that. That's another really good quote.
I am unwell.
But to me, it reminded me of like looking at sin, looking at things that seem very fun and captivating from the outside,
Yes. And then
but
once you get
captured by
yeah.
it.
It
Once
ain't fun
you,
anymore.
it ain't fun anymore. Once you start partaking in it, and
Exactly.
he was in captivity by her until Aslan sent someone to help him out.
Yeah.
So to me, that was a powerful warning, in my opinion. Now on to the actual silver chair. Even in his moments of sanity, he was so he was tied down in that, we can call it sin, whatever it was.
Yeah. His
He
bondage.
was, yeah, bondage. He was in bondage that even in his sane moments he couldn't escape.
Rebellion is as a sin of witchcraft. He was
Mm,
rebelling against. Mm.
mm,
Mm. And he got caught up in some witchcraft.
mm.
Anyways.
But he does, like you said, he
Yeah.
does end up killing the witch. She turns
Yeah.
into a snake. When she told
Mhm.
him the whole time he would turn into a snake if he wasn't bound to the silver chair.
Kind of silly. That was kind of silly her to do that. But yeah.
Anything to say about?
Ooh. I just thought of something. Okay.
Okay.
So I'm trying to wrap it up.
Oh no, it's fine. I'm making sure we have time. I have time. I don't know if you have
Oh,
anything to do after
girl,
this.
I ain't got nothing to do
Okay. I still got like over an
besides
hour,
eat.
probably 2 hours. So we're good.
But I feel like when she started playing the music, that was, kind of like
When what? Huh?
when Puddleglum and Eustace and
Jill.
Jill and the prince were all there. She was playing the mandolin or whatever,
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
and she was
I do
like
remember that.
lulling them to sleep.
Wasn't Puddleglum the one that kind of snapped them all out of it?
Cause he stomped. I love that. I love Puddleglum.
I do too. He's very pessimistic, but in a like, I don't know.
Yeah,
He's also very funny.
he's pessimistic, but in an optimistic way.
Yeah, that makes no sense whatsoever. But he's very pessimistic in an optimistic way. He actually, one thing that I found, this is not biblical, whatever. This is kind of taken like a complete 180 from what we were just talking about. But it does mention that all of the other Marshwiggles tell him he's too optimistic. But everything that comes out of Puddleglum's mouth is pessimistic.
So I would hate to know how some of them other ones be talking.
I know. I thought that was very funny.
Like, anyways,
But
yeah.
Which another thing is like they were like digging a tunnel under the ground, and she was gonna put Rillian in his rightful throne, but on the wrong side. Well, actually, I don't think she would have even put him in the throne because
then she would still
even if he
probably she would
was,
find a way to be like, oh, well, you're still not, up to, I don't know.
well, see, the White Witch promised Edmund the throne when she died, but we know that she couldn't have ever died. So I wonder.
So that was a lie.
Yeah, I wonder if she was the same way. Do you think they are the same person? Because
Interesting concept.
I don't, because Aslan conquered the White Witch in the Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe.
But did he ever kill? He killed her, didn't he?
I think it said that he killed her, and her people ran to hide, and the Pevensies sought them out and killed them.
Wait a minute.
But there were some still alive because they come back with Prince Caspian.
I thought she run and hide. I mean, she ran.
I thought it said that he killed her.
Maybe that was another. That was when they were having a council. And she was like, "Oh well, how will I know that this promise will be kept?" And then he like roars at her. She's like, "Ah!"
Yeah, and she runs. I'm pretty sure she was killed in the Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe.
Because after her one was broke by Edmund, that was fun. That was very smart of him.
It was very smart of him. And I love, we're all the way back to the
Anyways,
but I do love that Peter gave Edmund like his rightful, like he wasn't like he was like Edmund was so smart. He went for the wand instead of her. And that's how like we were able, like I like that little
yeah,
that brotherly bond that they had. Like Edmund, he's had
brotherly blonde.
brotherly bond.
You was about to say that.
I was about to say that. I love that when Peter and Edmund, like after Edmund's redemption, they just like they're still like Peter had no hatred, no like he didn't hold any grudges against Edmund.
And I like how that bond followed them out of the Narnia.
Out of
the world.
Narnia. Yep.
Anyways,
So
back to the silver
back
chair.
to the silver chair.
I think it's interesting how, like, you know, that they were preparing for a big besiege of. That wasn't the right word that I just used. Besiege is when something has already been sieged, seized. Siege is when you're planning something is like under siege. Yeah.
Okay.
So they're planning a big campaign, like a siege on the upper, like on Narnia, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah. They could be digging for a long time to reach from all the way. But anyways,
about to the end too.
That was very great timing.
It was on Aslan's part. That was very great timing.
Yeah. Like the bullies were like everything was just so perfectly timing that. Anyways, but that just goes to show that there's a lot happening under the surface that you can never know. Because they were up there having a snowball fight and all this fun stuff.
They were having a good
Jill gets
fun
hit
time.
in the face with a snowball.
Was it that book that they mentioned? No, it's in the last battle that it mentioned. Which book was it mentioned that Narnia had known peace for so long that do you know what I'm talking about?
It's the last battle.
It is the last battle. But it was kind of the same, like I wonder if they would have been ready. Because they were carrying on, having fun, they're like it was like their big winter dance or something.
Yeah. Let's see.
Wonder if they would have been ready for battle. Possibly.
Because Caspian was old.
Caspian was old.
Yeah. So, and he had been on that voyage when they were already in peace. So it could be that they had been in peace for a while. For like decades.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Is there anything else you want to say about that? Want to move to the last battle? Okay, what is the king's name? Because I could not think of his name when I was talking to Cassidy.
Tyrion.
Okay, I knew it was similar to Rillian, but I could not remember like how it sounds. But okay, yeah. So King Tyrion in the very beginning. So like we know the deal with Shift and Puzzle, dressing up and acting as Aslan. To me, King Tyrion was he was quick to judge.
Yeah.
Which the centaur told him not to be. He told him. Yeah, no, that was the one during Prince Caspian's reign.
What was them?
I don't remember his name. But he told him to not be so quick to judge. And he was. And there was a lot of trouble that came out of it.
Very hot-headed.
He was very hot-headed.
Yeah.
Which
I don't know, if some tree come up wailing to me, I would have been pretty mad too.
Yeah. But I feel like that was
I was mad at whoever was hurting my trees too.
Which the Calorman people were, but I feel like he should have known how Aslan was. Yeah. That Aslan would not have ordered his trees, his people to be killed.
But see, Aslan hadn't been around. Like, he hadn't shown up probably for a while. Like,
well, they said that he hadn't been there in a while, and I think it was kind of a similar situation in Prince Caspian where
Runewit.
Yeah, that was his name. That was
I'm sorry.
That's okay. It was kind of a similar situation as in Prince Caspian, where they kind of started to lose faith a little bit in Aslan. Like they still believed in him, but he didn't have as much faith in him that he wouldn't have. Like he almost thought that Aslan was letting them down, and he was so quick to judge that it ended up he ended up tied to a tree.
Yeah, and then he remembers all of the stories from the
Mm-hmm.
past.
So he does come around to and learn to trust Aslan,
Yeah.
but it's after he's been so quick to judge.
Mm,
And I don't know. I feel like they would have had a lot easier time.
yeah.
I don't know.
I think it was really sweet how the mice and the whatever like brought him cheese and stuff.
Yeah, there go the mice remaining. I wonder if, like, okay, we know the mice were given the ability to speak later on because of what they did to Aslan, or for Aslan. I wonder if any of them ever believed that, was it Puzzle that was the donkey? Puzzle was the donkey. I wonder if they ever believed that he was.
I don't know.
I mean, they were sweet enough to bring Tyrion
Yeah,
like
they
food.
probably no. I feel like Shift had like so implemented a fear in them that they didn't know
Yeah, it
that.
does mention that a lot of them were so scared that even if they didn't fully believe, they were also scared to speak out about it.
Yeah, that's
That's good. Um, where do you want to go from there? We could talk about Eustace and Jill's arrival. We can talk. Let's at least talk about the Seven Friends of Narnia. When Tyrion, I guess it was kind of a dream, sees the Seven Friends of Narnia, and
yeah,
it explains them. He doesn't know their names, but he explains an old couple
yeah,
and um two young men, or like one like young man, two younger men, like two boys about the same age, younger than the first, and then a young lady. No, two young ladies.
hmm there's
But
somebody missing though.
but listen, I sat there and did the math. I remember where I was at, and I texted her. Listen, I read it and I did the math in my mind.
Was this the first time you had read it
No, it was in my rereading.
and you just forgot?
I kind of, yeah, I think I kind of forgot and then kind of was like, didn't want to believe it. But I was like, wait, there's supposed to be eight, right? And I text Grace, I was like, GraceLea, isn't there supposed to be eight Friends of Narnia? And she was like, just, I
Just
forget
read.
what you said.
Just read.
Just read. And so I did the math and I was like, there's supposed to be eight Friends of Narnia if you do the math. And which even by just the descriptions of the people, you pretty much know who it
Yeah,
is
yeah.
that's
I just like
missing.
how they have these organized dinners and stuff where they just get
Yes.
together and talk about Narnia. Like,
But
wasn't this so cool?
imagine like Diggory as the professor advises them not to talk about Narnia to people who don't know of
Yeah.
Narnia. So imagine having this experience in Narnia
And you
and
just have to like go about your daily life. Like,
you can't talk to anybody about it. I would be, if nobody else,
I would
I
just be
would be
like,
setting up these dinners. I'm like, I can't live with it anymore. We got to talk about Narnia, like this crazy experience that you had, and I can't talk to anybody
and then
about it.
like seven other people have had, and you're just like
Hmm.
have to relate somewhere. So
Yeah, I really love that they did all stick together though. It was very sweet that they like have this relationship with the professor even after they're not in his home anymore.
yeah,
So what it's kind of, there's so much that happens in that book. It's very hard to like sit down and talk about it.
yeah, I get
Like I
that.
feel like
Yeah,
I think there is a whole podcast on the Chronicles of Narnia. They literally go chapter by chapter and sit down. We should do that. Hey.
girl, I don't know.
No, but like there's so much in the Chronicles of Narnia that in order to like we can't just sit down and sift through every little bit, especially in the last battle. I feel like there was things happening like one after the other.
Back
The
up to
Voyage of the Dawn
back,
Treader was kind of the
like that as
same,
well. Yeah,
but the last battle ultimately reminds me a lot of like Revelation and
oh yeah,
the calling away of the church and the
the
rapture and
and the tribulation.
yeah. Ooh, which part?
The tribulation is like
I guess all the
when the whole earth gets destroyed,
mhm.
basically.
And then the part where the animals or like everyone comes up to Aslan, looks in his face, and
Sun turns
Summer.
to darkness and the moon into blood
Mhm.
before that
And
great and notable day of the Lord come.
oh,
Acts chapter 2, verse it's the 20th, I think. Yeah, say it. It's in the late teens or early 20s.
I was in Bible quizzing that year, and I'm
Anyways,
gonna be honest. I don't remember the exact verse.
anyways,
I don't remember the place. Um, but in the part with the animals looking him in the face and either returning into Narnia or coming into his land, it's like Judgment Day.
yes, Judgment Day.
Mm-hmm.
Like that was something I caught as well.
Mm-hmm. And
Yeah.
it also mentions how it seemed like there were so many, like probably millions of creatures, but it seems like no time passed. Like everybody just somehow like it just happened so quick.
Yeah.
Which I thought was
1,000 years is one day.
mm-hmm.
So like time, there's a little time difference there.
Mm-hmm. Now, do you want to say anything about Aslan's country? Like anything you caught?
Oh, wait, you say yours.
Well,
Okay.
okay. I was very confused about the young Calorman like boy.
That was so sweet.
It was, but I was very confused by it because he believed in Tash, but then he still was accepted into.
Did he though?
Well, see, that's what confused me because then Aslan was like, "Oh, well, the things you did for him, I took as you did it for me."
Because he done good things in Tasha's name. Maybe.
Is that like a? Do you think that's a doctrinal difference from like what we believe and what? Because C.S. Lewis was, I think he was like
He was like Catholic.
no, I thought
Christian.
he was a Christian. It was like Anglican. Like what is that?
Anglican?
Anglican. No, there
That's
was
a
like it was an A word. I forget which.
Orthodox.
Mm-mm. Look it up real quick. I wonder.
Wait.
That was one thing that confused me because we don't believe like just good works will like.
Oh my goodness.
Because some people do believe that.
That was a very powerful message. I'm sorry. Oh, the total of, by the way, if in case any of you did not know, the exact amount of total tabs that you can have open on your phone is 500.
Oh, I did not know that.
You cannot have any more than that. I've learned.
I need to talk to somebody older than us about that have read the. Maybe I should text Sister Megan because I really honestly wonder.
Let's just go down to Florida and just have a
Have a sit down conversation with Sister Megan. I think I mentioned her in my introduction video. She is a big inspiration for me starting this YouTube channel.
Was Clive Staples Lewis. I liked how his middle name was Staples. Who was a member of the Church of England, who was initially an atheist. His conversion to Christianity.
What was his exact denomination? I thought it was like
Supreme Head of the Church of England. Sorry. Anglican Christian.
Anglican Christian. So I don't really know what they believed, but
That's what I said.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Okay.
I wonder if that was kind of a like because I feel like if I'm doing good works but in the name of another god, I don't. I wonder if that was just like a denominational like not like a
theological difference
in what we believe and he believed.
Probably.
Because the Chronicles of Narnia, amazing series.
I just like how he was there. I love how because I think
sweet.
I think that was very sweet what he done.
Mm-hmm.
Was standing up to Shift and Rishta Tarkan? No. Rishta was in
the Horse and His Boy. I forget his name. If they even gave him a name. They probably did, but I don't remember.
But the boy's name was Emeth.
Before this video is uploaded, I'm gonna talk to somebody older that I trust. Probably just gonna text Sister Megan and ask her about that. Because that was the only thing that really majorly confused me.
Mm-hmm.
Out of the whole series was how he made it to Aslan's country when he wasn't a follower of Aslan. I cannot seem to get this background level, so we're rolling with it. I have found the answer to the question of MF and his making it to Aslan's country. Really quick, I did research a bit more and spend a bit more time on this than I can actually go into in this video. This is all that I have written down. I'm not gonna say all of that because I'm trying to make this as quick as possible. However, also because it is Sunday, I'm currently filming this in between services and I've got to get this edited tonight. So, I have found it out. The answer to this, I spent like all day Thursday driving to 3 different libraries to find all the books on C.S. Lewis or by C.S. Lewis I could find. I found Mere Christianity by C.S. Lewis. I found Not a Tame Lion by Bruce L. Edwards. And those are the only two I'm going to talk about, plus my copy of The Last Battle. I did also find this biography on him. I have not even gotten to read it. I may still read it for fun, but it will not come up in this video. Um, and I found the answer. So before I get into it, I want to tell y'all what I personally believe, or give you a little insight. I'm not even really going to go into that. First of all, I do believe that in order to make it to heaven, you must have a relationship with God. That is one of the biggest factors. I am apostolic. I do believe that you must be filled with the Holy Ghost and or the Holy Spirit, whatever you want to call it. And a sign of that is speaking in tongues. You repent, truly repent, and God fills you with the Holy Ghost with the evidence of speaking in tongues. I do believe that you must be baptized, fully submerged underwater, but I don't believe the once saved, always saved. Like, you can speak in tongues, and if you do not have a relationship with God, you will not make it to heaven. That is my belief. And somewhat coincidentally, but I don't really believe in coincidences, pastor actually talked a little bit about this in the prayer room. So I'm going to kind of read my notes after hearing him speak. The term that he used, or the phrase he used, is salvation is not a technicality, meaning it's not just, oh, well, I spoke in tongues, I have salvation, or oh, I didn't sin in my life, so I have salvation. It's not a technicality. It is relationship. You must have a relationship with God. There will be many that know of God, have read the Bible, but God has to know you as well. And to do that is prayer and Bible reading. The example that my pastor used, which was an amazing example in my opinion, is you can read all you want about a person. I can go get a biography, an extensive, 1,000-page biography on George Washington, and I can learn so many facts about him that maybe people that knew him personally don't even know, but we don't have a relationship because I was not alive when George Washington was, and I don't know him personally. So to get to know God personally is through prayer, is through Bible reading. Now, that begs the question, what about those who have not had the chance to know God? What about those who, when the Lord comes back to get his church, when the world ends, what about those who have not heard of him? Now, I ran out of time I did search in the Bible for some of these theories that I'll get to later. I ran out of time to specifically look at verses in the Bible, but there was a Bible study that I and several girls my age had, like back in like 2020, with like within the church, and it was an amazing Bible study. I have great memories from it, and that was actually a question that was asked, and to my knowledge, the Bible doesn't outright say, "Oh, well, those who haven't heard of Jesus, this is what happens to them." Um, and it's kind of just it's something that's not really talked about in the Bible, and it's just I'm trying to think of the right way to say this. We're just gonna have to trust God on that. I believe that God is a just God. He shows amazing mercy and grace to everyone. And that's just something that we can't say for sure what's going to happen. Um, but I will say the Bible does mention just how important living this life is. It is very important that you live right. If you know God, be diligent in trying to learn more about Him. Pray every day, read your Bible every day, seek to know Him and to learn more about Him every single day. Along with that, it is our duty to reach as many people as possible, and it is our duty to tell as many people about God as possible and give as many people that wonderful chance to truly get to know God. So, that's a little snippet into what I believe. Now, let me get into C.S. Lewis and what he meant by MF making it into Aslan's country. Um, so, in the last battle, MF, in Aslan's country, we get a little bit of his view. And he does say that the name of Aslan was hateful to him. So he served Tash, and to him, the name of Aslan was horrible. But he was a very good person. He wanted to meet the Narnians in battle in a very upright, courageous way. But when he learned that they were going to be essentially sneaking into Narnia with disguises and trickery, he didn't think that was right. So Emeth is a very good person, a very moral person. And one of my theories was that maybe Emeth represents those that are not yet of the age of accountability. There are few verses there are several verses in the Bible that hint at there being an age of accountability. It doesn't mention specifically what that age is, but an age where young children do not yet know right from wrong. But it seems like Emeth did know right from wrong. He even killed the Calorman sentry that was standing inside the stable because he was in the wrong there, so Emeth killed him. Um, uh, Another thing, Emeth was not deceived by Tashlan in the end. He knew that Tash and Aslan were separate, and he remained steadfast in that belief. And to me, Tashlan kind of represents the Antichrist or the false prophets that will come in the last days. And there are several instances in the Bible talking about that, both the Antichrist, those are who are going to be deceived, and those who aren't going to be deceived. I wrote 3 of them down, and I had a tab open. Like, I looked up on Google all the verses that mention it, and then I went through my Bible and read them and read the context behind them, and I lost like, I took a break and I lost it. So the 3 verses I did write down was 2 Thessalonians 2, 9 through 10, Revelation 13, 13 through 14, and Matthew 24, 24. Some of those may not expressly, I don't know if that's the right word, those may not be directly talking about the last days, but just false prophets in general. And there were several about those who are not going to be deceived. But like I said, I lost the tab, and then I was running out of time. It was late last night, or no, it was last night that happened, or yesterday, and I had more things I had to do. Anyways, I'm trying to fly through this. Um, And there is a verse in the Bible which I should have looked up. Let me see if I can get it real quick. Okay, so that is Matthew 24:24 that talks about it. And it basically says that the false, or the meaning behind it, is that the false prophets will be so cunning and so deceitful that even the very elect would be deceived if God were to allow it. So there's that. Once again, there are more verses on the Antichrist, of false prophets in general, of those who will and will not be deceived. But from my knowledge in the Bible, it doesn't seem like people are going to just stumble into not being deceived. Um, you've got to know God and have a relationship with Him to not be deceived. I believe some of the verses talk about how He'll call fire down from heaven, and I think even come in the name of Jesus. And if you don't have a relationship with God and you don't know Him and know His ways, through prayer and reading your Bible, how are you going to know that that's not a true prophet? So, yes, Emeth was not deceived by Tashlan, and I'm getting a little bit into C.S. Lewis's reasoning because Emeth was seeking out truth and goodness. Despite being a Chlorman, that's why he wasn't deceived. But it's not that he just stumbled into not being deceived. Now, I'm going to read exactly what happens in the last battle between Emeth and Aslan once Emeth meets Aslan in Aslan's country. Well, I wrote it down right word for word here, so I'm just gonna. I don't know why I was flipping through the book. At first, Aslan says to Emeth, "All the service thou hast done to Tash, I count as service done to me." Emeth asks a clarifying question, and Aslan says, "But because we," meaning Aslan and Tash, "are opposites, I take to me the services which thou hast done to him, for I and he are of such different kinds that no service which is vile can be done to me, and none which is not vile can be done unto him. Therefore, if any man swear by Tash and keep his oath for the oath's sake, it is by me that he has truly sworn, though he know it not, and it is I who reward him. And if any man do a cruelty in my name, then though he says the name of Aslan, it is Tash whom he serves, and by Tash his deed is accepted." Now that is what is in the last battle. Now, GraceLea, I did talk to her before I did all this research, and she said maybe he represented the thief on the cross. He's mentioned in a few of the Gospels. The thieves on the cross are mentioned in several of the Gospels, but the most extensive one is in Luke 23:40 through 43. Um, after looking into like reading the Bible verse and everything, it's possible, but Emeth didn't have a last minute conversion. He went into Aslan's country still looking for Tash, although upon seeing Aslan, he did realize he was the true God. And so Emeth didn't have a last minute conversion. He had a conversion after death. Now I did read some of Mere Christianity. I skipped through it. I read the preface, and by design in Mere Christianity, C.S. Lewis did not go into the deeper tenets, maybe is the right term, of different denominations. He didn't even mention his own denomination in Mere Christianity. The book was meant to cover the core tenets of Christian faith that all denominations believed, purposely leaving out those that are contested among the differing denominations. That being said, even some of those core beliefs I don't personally believe, such as the Trinity. So, um, but the book was meant to bring unity to the Christian faith, the varying denominations of them, because in his day he was seeing such um dysregulation, maybe, and such, not really hate, but disagreement between everyone. Um, but let us go to Not a Tame Lion by Bruce L. Edwards. The first excerpt I'm about to read comes from chapter 4, in the very end of chapter 4 in that book. In a letter to a young lady in 1961, Lewis suggested that one meaning of the story was the calling and conversion of one outside the faith, that is, external to the traditions and history of Narnia. Shasta, talking about the horse and his boy, surely undergoes a kind of conversion as a young man who has grown up not knowing his true father or his true identity. He is a heathen in the sense that he does not know Aslan by name, but he emulates Aslan's character. As such, he foreshadows the compelling character of Emeth, who emerges in the last battle as both courageous and righteous, acting on the best motives, even though he is not familiar with Aslan or the ethics of Narnia. Shasta, like Emeth, has learned to behave like a Narnian, even while still distant from his true home and lacking direct knowledge of his benefactor, Aslan. So, in this book, we see a comparison between Shasta and Emeth. So it seems at this point I had not found the direct quote that is going to tie all this in together. So when I wrote this, I said, I see the comparison. It seems C.S. Lewis believed that those who do not directly know God could still make it to heaven as long as they sought truth and goodness. And then I found a little excerpt online, or a thing online talking also about the last battle, and it says, in his fiction, Lewis famously explored the idea that seeking goodness and truth is equivalent to seeking God, suggesting that those who do not explicitly know Christ might still be accepted by him. So maybe C.S. Lewis's idea of what about those who have not known God before they die or before the end of time. It seems that he believes seeking goodness and truth is equivalent to seeking God. Once again, I said I do believe one of the core ways to get into heaven is having a relationship with God. However, for those who do not know God, know of God, maybe God accepts those who still sought goodness and truth. It is not for me to say. I do have opinions, but I won't go into them because I went into them earlier. And at the core of it, I can't say. I'm not God, and it is only for God to judge. Now in this second sticky note, this is in chapter. This is in the last chapter before the epilogue. I don't know what number. I'm trying to hurry so I can get back to church. This is a pretty long section. By contrast, the noble Calorman Emeth is a supposed enemy of Aslan who has spent his life in service to Tash. He alone, willingly and proactively, expresses his desire to meet Tash, for he is a sincere believer. Having only noble intentions and pure heart, Emeth, whose name means truth in Hebrew, did not know that, but that does give a clue into C.S. Lewis's meaning behind the character, is welcomed inside the stable, not by the now departed Tash, but by King Aslan. Emeth is surprised to learn that in serving Tash, he has really been serving Aslan, whom he thought was his enemy, a judgment that only Aslan has the right to make. Beloved, said the glorious one, unless thy desire has been for me, thou wouldst not have sought so long and so truly, for all find what they truly seek. That Emeth's heart has been set on his real king is evident in his stirring testimony. It is better to see the lion and die than to be Tisroc of the world and live and not have seen him. Grace is getting credit for things one didn't do. Mercy is not receiving blame for the things one has done. Emeth receives both grace and mercy. He finds his counterparts in two New Testament seekers who trust Jesus without question. The Roman centurion who asked Christ to heal his daughter, and Cornelius, a Gentile believer seeking the truth God that the Apostle Peter is sent to teach and disciple. Both receive what they sought, healing and salvation, not because they had the right nationality or ethnic history, but because they wished to meet the true God with all their hearts and were willing to trust him regardless of risk or rejection. So once again, I love that comparison. However, the two Bible characters, the Roman centurion and Cornelius, I think it said, they were able to continue their life living for Christ. When Jesus died, the salvation was opened up for everyone, Jews and Gentiles alike. And so yes, when they met Jesus, they weren't technically like supposed to believe in Christ. That wasn't what they were brought up to believe, but they were able to live out the rest of their life following Christ if they so chose. They did not have a conversion after that death as Emeth did. But it is the end of Narnia. Emeth does not have the chance to live on and choose Aslan over Tash. So it really seems Emeth is going to be a character that represents those who have not known of God before the end of the world, before the judgment day. That being said, Emeth, this just seems to further prove C.S. Lewis believes God will have mercy on those who did not know him in their life if they sought truth and goodness. Now, then I found the quote in Mere Christianity. I don't know what chapter it is in. I may or may not have found it online, because I did not get to read through the whole book. But this quote says, there are people in other religions who are being led by God's secret influence to concentrate on those parts of their religion which are in agreement with Christianity, and who thus belong to Christ without knowing it. So, that is C.S. Lewis's, or was C.S. Lewis's belief. He believed that, first of all, God does have a part in everyone's life, but he believed that God would stir those who truly sought truth and goodness to focus on the parts of their religion, whatever it may be, that align with him, so that they would do good things. Even if they're not doing it in his name, they were still doing good things. Now I really wanted to look at Bible verses that may or may not corroborate this. I did not have the time. I ran out of time. Ultimately, it's not for me to say personally, but I did want to give y'all insight into what C.S. Lewis believed and why he wrote Emeth into the story. And yeah, that's it. He believed that maybe there could be conversions after death. From the verses that I do know of in the Bible, from what I've read of the Bible and what I remember, there aren't many verses talking about it. To the contrary, there are a lot of verses that talk about just how important this life is. That once this life is over, that's it. If you had the chance to get to know God and you didn't, God doesn't know you. And really, it just focuses on how important this life is. You can't live however you like, completely out of alignment with God and His ways, and expect to have a chance at conversion after death. Um, but I don't think that's what C.S. Lewis was saying he believed. Emeth represents those who did seek truth and had not found it before the end of Narnia. And it also does say that Emeth was a young boy. It clarified, said it probably several times that Emeth was a young man. So that quote from Your Christianity, that is the reason. C.S. Lewis believed that God would be merciful to those who had not heard him or heard of him and were still seeking truth and goodness. So that was C.S. Lewis's belief. You know what you believe, or if you don't, pray about it. Read the Bible and try to figure it out. But in my opinion, if you know God, if you're watching this video and if you did read the Chronicles of Narnia and you are Christian and you wondered that same thing, you do know God. So you can continue to have a relationship with him, continue to read the Bible, get to know him. The verses are not talking about you, or this story is not talking about you, and it is so important that we reach as many people as possible and bring as many people to heaven with us as possible, and to let as many people as possible know about Jesus so they can have that chance. And maybe the Bible, honestly, the Bible may purposefully, God may have purposefully left that out of the Bible. If you're reading the Bible, there's your chance to get to know Jesus. So those verses are would no longer be talking about you. So it may just be a situation where we have to trust in God, trust that He is a truthful and merciful God, and it's for Him to judge. Um, and I hope I articulated everything that I wanted to say right, and I hope I didn't say anything confusing. One of my biggest worries about this YouTube channel is that I know what I believe, but I'm afraid that I will explain it in such a way that makes it sound like I believe something differently. So I hope I explained everything the way that I wanted to, and I hope that gave y'all a little bit more insight into C.S. Lewis and The Last Battle specifically. And yeah, let us get into the rest of the video. I'll have to talk to her about that, and I'll let you know.
Let me know, girl, because I need to know.
And then just the whole part with Tash too confused me because he was actually there, but wasn't a god, but he actually showed up. I wonder if he
So
was.
it was a devil
Hmm.
that
Okay,
they
that
had
does
made
make a
to
lot more
be.
sense.
Yeah,
So,
they called for him and he has come.
hmm. Um. Also, oh, I just thought about this. The fact where they started trying to say that Tash and Aslan were the same.
Tashland?
Mm-hmm. I did not like that.
Me neither.
Uh, what is the about the end of times and stuff with like when everybody coming together and like under one religion and one.
One world country,
Yeah.
like a the Antichrist. Okay, I feel like he put something in there somewhere in that whole series about the Antichrist, but I cannot remember.
The only thing that I can think of would be like shift and puzzle.
Yeah,
Because and
like
then they tried to bring everybody, Glorman and Narnian people, to say together and say that Tash and
yeah.
Aslan were
So
the same.
he put up puzzle to beat. Yeah, that's what I
That
would. Yeah,
makes sense to me.
yeah. Cause I
um,
mean, they had him looking like and doing stuff that they thought Aslan would do.
but
They don't know Aslan.
yeah.
But anyways,
Mhm. I didn't really put that much thought into it before now. But okay, now the part with um well when they're exploring Aslan's country, Diggory and Polly, Peter, Edmund, Lucy, Eustace, and Jill are all together in Aslan's country, and then they look and see the Pevensies' parents as well in Aslan's country,
Mm-hmm.
and we kind of piece it together throughout the story, but they had actually all died in our world, and that's why they're all um in
Mm-hmm.
Aslan's country,
Yeah.
except for
Susan.
Susan, who was the missing
It's
friend of
no longer
Narnia.
a friend of Narnia.
hmm
That's so sad.
I was heartbroken about that.
Yeah.
Which, if
But
you think about it, like she was, I feel like she was the least mentioned out of all of them and the least talked about. Like,
yeah, like I feel like she was the oldest. No, Peter was the oldest,
hmm
but I feel like she had already got some like peer pressure from her friends to be more worldly.
hmm
Like
it does
like
mention,
not worldly in like a bad way, but like more like go do this stuff and go to like concerts and do all this and don't worry
hmm
about your like throw away your childhood and whatever.
yeah. Um,
Which kind of, I mean, why throw away your childhood?
I feel like C.S. Lewis, I don't know if he was planning that the whole time, but just to me, Peter and Edmund and Lucy all had, they were just more involved in Narnia
Yeah,
throughout the whole series, I feel like, than
yeah,
Susan was. Like well, it does say that she didn't like to take part in battles. Lucy did. Lucy took part in the battles
yeah.
as an archer, but it did say that Susan never really liked. And she also, ooh, I just thought about this. She actually gave the time of day to one of the Corman princes in The Horse and His Boy, which you would think if somebody doesn't believe in Aslan, you wouldn't, like, if he's not the same religion, like,
Yeah.
he believed in Tash, he
Well, did
believed in,
she really even want to do that in the first place, though?
well, she went all the way to Corman to, and she did
Well,
say
or
that,
did she do that because she felt pressure to, maybe?
hmm,
Because she didn't want to be like, cause war or anything? Because when Edmund asks her, he says, have you determined whether you will marry this Prince Rapidash or no? And she says, no, brother, not for all the jewels in Tashbaan.
yeah, but I think it mentioned that she kind of felt it's okay. She kind of felt like she did actually genuinely like him until because
Yeah.
when he come to Narnia, he was very nice, sweet,
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah, and
And
then
then when she went to Clorman, she saw the whole different side of him.
Mr. Thomas says, see a bear in his own den before you judge his conditions.
Mm. But I just wonder why she even gave him the time of day
Yeah,
if he believes in Tash and not Aslan, unless she thought that like I don't know she could
interesting.
bring him to Aslan. But
Was this an I could fix him situation?
but then with Lucy, like it does say that other princes at the end of the Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, that other princes like wanted her to be their wife, but it doesn't ever mention her giving anyone the time of day, really in Narnia.
Yeah, I
But it
mean,
does mention Susan, her and the Prince of Clorman, I guess courting
yeah,
almost.
until they saw his true nature.
Yeah, I just think I don't see why she gave him the time of day to begin with when he wasn't a follower of Aslan. So maybe she was always kind of on the fence and just followed her siblings into Narnia, and that's why she didn't hold up.
She felt like she had to be the mother.
Mm,
She's like, well, I gotta go with him now.
yeah,
And
like I feel like when
but
she was in Narnia, she truly believed in
yeah,
Narnia,
yeah.
but
But then, like, if she wasn't in that environment,
hmm
she
so maybe she
started
was
to doubt.
just yeah. I see that's another thing that I just thought about us sitting down and talking about it, like the fact that she even thought to marry someone that didn't believe in Aslan. Like maybe she was just kind of on the fence the whole time, and just when she's in Narnia, she believes in Narnia, but then when she gets around friends not in Narnia,
Yeah, she kind of forgets about it. I
mm-hmm.
mean, also, something that I think is interesting, I don't know if you caught it, but when they had first got into Aslan's country,
Mm-hmm.
they saw those trees, and then Diggory goes, I know what we're all thinking.
Wait.
He goes, I know what we're all thinking. Like, it's not, it was either Diggory or somebody else. But I feel like it was Diggory because he had, I know what we're all thinking. He goes, like, apples is pretty, can't be good to eat. Or something
Mm,
along those lines.
I
I
think I
can't
do
remember the
remember
exact
him.
quote.
I think I remember something like that.
Yeah.
Ooh. I didn't catch
That was
that.
kind of like a tie back to
The
that.
Magician's
Yeah.
Nephew. Yeah. Oh, okay. Now we do learn throughout the book that like Eustace and Jill they were trying to get to Narnia and then ended up being called there. And
Yeah.
Eustace says, like, for a second I thought it was a train crash or a train wreck. But I don't he called it something it wasn't a train wreck. He called it something else.
Yeah.
But along those lines, he was like, for a second I thought it was that, but then I realized it was just the magic of Narnia. Us being called to Narnia.
It was in fact a train wreck.
It was in fact a train wreck. And Diggory and Polly, Peter, and Edmund, I think were all waiting at the train station. Peter
And
even
their
says,
parents.
well, their parents were on the train.
Yeah, they were on. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because Peter was like, well, I saw, like, I thought the train was coming around the curve a little too fast.
And I guess the train just kind of like
It derailed,
derailed.
and I guess killed a lot of people in the station as well.
Yeah. I
Um,
wonder if that actually like happened, or is that something that he gained inspiration from, or
Oh, you're talking about C.S.
yeah.
Lewis? I thought you were saying in the book did it actually
No.
happen. I was like, oh, it was confirmed. But like, I think Aslan even tells them like,
Yeah. Yeah.
But Peter also says it like, oh yeah, we found out like we think our parents were on the train because they were going to see friends in like this
And
other
Edmund is
part.
always like into train schedules and stuff like that.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, it was Edmund then. One of them. I knew it was one of them.
Yeah, because Edmund is
Said it.
always kind of like nerdy like that.
I was about to say
Nothing
something
wrong
else.
with being nerdy.
I really, I like to have, I like this thought, or I like to think, gosh, I like to think that Susan eventually come around and started believing in Narnia again.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why she wasn't taken. Not only because she wasn't hanging out with the friends of Narnia, she was off doing her own thing, but maybe she wasn't taken because maybe later on in life.
That's why I wish C.S. Lewis had wrote like an eighth book.
I know.
There should be an eighth book. I literally started an eighth book one time. I started like
Like your own.
I started my own book about them like being in Aslan's country. Like it was I got like 3 chapters in. The name of it was like Every Day is Better Than the Last or something like that.
Oh.
But I never finished books.
GraceLea, you should maybe the estate of C.S. Lewis would confirm it as like eighth copy. They did that for what book did they do that for? I think was it Peter Pan? There was a book that I learned recently that like the family of the author accepted a sequel to the book, but I can't remember what book it was. I didn't even know that was a
I
thing.
just feel like Susan needs to go on living her life in England because I don't think she was killed. She wasn't killed in that rape.
Mm-mm.
So I feel like she just needs to go on living her life, and somehow or another throughout her life, either if she's really old or if she's, if she finds something someday that reminds her of the truth of Narnia, and she goes on this long journey and she finally gets back to Aslan's country.
Yeah. I wish I at least knew C.S. Lewis's own, because as the author, he had to have, even if he never thought about putting pen to paper and writing it,
Yeah.
he had to have had his own idea of whether
As a writer, I can confirm that.
whether Susan actually made it or not. But I like to believe she did because it's too sad to believe that she didn't.
Yeah.
But
I feel like he had somewhere.
maybe in a diary. I'm gonna reach out to C.S. Lewis's descendants and ask them. Write a letter.
John Grisham.
What?
What?
What about John Grisham? Is he a descendant of C.S. Lewis?
Doug Grisham. It's not John Grisham. It's Doug. John Grisham is from Mississippi.
He is. Mississippi and Tennessee.
That's not. Douglas Grisham, the spokesperson for Focus on the Family.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he wasn't the spokesperson for that. He just gave the foreword, but he said that he was kin to C.S. Lewis.
Ooh, okay.
Like he was there. C.S. Lewis was his stepdad.
Oh. Oh,
Yeah.
so close.
Yeah.
Oh.
So,
I really wish, like, surely C.S. Lewis had some, like, or maybe somebody somewhere wrote him a letter. It was like, please let me know.
please.
Did Susan make it later on in life or not? I like to believe she did, but I think it's also, I'm glad that he included it because that's the sad truth about the life we live is that
Yeah.
not everybody's going to make it.
Oh, that's very true.
So I'm glad
Yeah.
he put it in there because it's a kind of a rude awakening. Um, it's kind of a reminder that not
Yeah.
everybody's gonna make it. You need to bring as many people to heaven as you possibly can. Um, I still like to believe, like I said, that she did make it, but
Yeah.
I'm glad overall. Like I'm sad that he wrote that in there, but overall, I'm glad that he did include it.
Mhm.
Especially with it being a children's series, not everything is like rainbows and cupcakes and unicorns. So
Well,
there
there are
is
some
some
unicorns.
there are some unicorns.
Take Jewel, for instance.
But I think it was needed for the series. Susan no longer being a friend of Narnia, but it was very sad. So I don't think there was anything else I wanted to say about the last battle. Is there anything you want to say?
I really can't think of anything.
Or anything about the series in general, if you
Have you
forgot something
seen
about
the
another book.
cover? Have you seen the cover? Like, there are several covers of like the series.
Mm-hmm.
Have you seen like one of the covers, the cover of the last battle that has Jewel on it, and Jewel is a he. I'm sorry. He's standing like with his head turned back, like towards the mountains, and his horn is like covered in blood. Have you seen that cover?
I don't think I have.
It's like an older cover. It's like from the
Mm-hmm.
70s, I believe. But
I
like,
don't think I.
I have one of those copies. I have some from that like cover style, and then I have some from another cover style, and then I have this box set of like one certain cover style.
I don't know. I
And then
can't
I
remember
also
what
have, sorry,
edition mine are from. They're old, but I don't know what.
yeah, well, I don't know. I just think this is a very like I think every person needs to read the series.
No matter how old or young you are.
Also, don't even want to get me into any of the other books he's wrote.
Listen,
The
whenever I get around to reading more of
please,
his books,
please
we are
read
sitting down with
the
GraceLea every single time. She
yes.
is a reoccurring guest.
Oh,
She will be a reoccurring guest.
have you read Jane Eyre?
You've already know the answer to that. I haven't. Listen, I know the story, which is why I'm not like I need
Okay,
to
we
read
really
it.
just talked about this Friday. Never mind.
Yes, we
Oh
did.
yeah. See,
Um,
okay. There's
that's
no
fine.
already no. There's no sense in you.
Well, I want to read it. It's just not high on my list
Yeah,
of
because
like my
you've already read
priority
it.
list because
Technically, yeah.
I know the storyline, I know the plot twist.
The very
So
big plot twist.
it's a very big plot twist. There's actually kind of two of them, kinda. Isn't there? Like
Oh, there's.
I'm gonna cut all this out, so y'all gonna see a cut real quick. But there's a part where she's about to marry him,
And
and
then
then finds out that his
he has a
wife
wife,
is
a
in the
literal
attic.
wife.
He has a literal wife in the
Like
attic. But
that's some
then
crazy work.
with that's like the main plot twist, isn't it?
Yeah,
And then there's like, well, I guess the ending isn't really a plot twist. Like he just comes back,
yeah.
or like she comes back to him after he's like been through a fire and he's blind. Right? Isn't that what
Hmm.
happened?
I hate that he has to be blonde.
But anyways,
Anyways,
back to the Chronicles of
anyways,
Narnia.
back.
Do you want to give your definitive ranking? Can you like? Do you kind of know it? Like, like favorite to least favorite?
I feel like my least favorite is. Mm, man, I feel like it's Prince Caspian.
Really?
I don't know. No, I feel no. I've already said that it was like my fourth favorite,
I
so I
thought
can't
you
say
said that about
that.
the voyage of the. It's fine if you
You know
change
what?
it. Mine's probably changed.
I don't even know. Let's just say they're all my favorite. They're all at my top one.
They're all at your top one. See, mine is The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, then The Voyage of the Dawn Treader, then Prince Caspian. And then I think after that it might be the Silver Chair. And then wait, I'm missing one of them. Oh, the last bat. Oh, No, The Last Battle might be. Listen, I gave my definitive ranking and it's probably already changed.
I can't do the definitive ranking.
I know my top three:
I'm like,
The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, Voyage of the Dawn Treader, and then
I
Prince
definitely know my
Caspian.
top three though. My top three would be like my number one, Horse and His Boy,
Mm-hmm.
and then my second one is Silverchair, and then my third is like oh, whatever the name of that book is, Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe.
Oh yeah, okay.
Guys,
The
it is
first
like
one.
what?
It's been
It's
an
like
hour and a half
yeah,
that we've been recording. And I told you it would take 30 minutes because Cassie
we
and ours
can
was 30
yap,
minutes.
we can yap for sure.
um
I'm a
but
professional yapper.
see, and that's I put The Magician's Nephew as my least favorite. Like it's at the
I get
end.
that because not a lot happens other than like a whole new
Like
world.
it's needed.
A
I
whole
love that he
new world.
I love that he put it in there, but it's also just not. I don't know how to explain it, but Bree told
I
me
like
that was
how
her most favorite. I wish I could
mm,
I might talk to her, maybe not on camera, but
yeah.
I might talk to her and ask her because I'm very interested in
I
why
like
that's
how he like
her most
sang.
favorite.
I like how he sang the world into existence. Kind of
Mhm.
like how God spoke the world into existence.
I do. Yeah, I do like that.
Yeah.
Ah, I just love the series so much.
Well,
Is that it?
I'm guessing that's it because you don't want to hear me talk about Space Trilogy.
Okay,
That'll
y'all
be another
listen.
look. She has to read the Space Trilogy, and then we're going to talk about that because there's like so much to unpack there.
I know. I just
Like,
opened it up and saw that the font in my set is so much smaller than in the Chronicles of Narnia, and I
oh,
was like,
if you think the first book is bad,
I don't know which one I opened up.
oh,
It might
if
have
you
been the
open
first one.
the second one gets like really theological. I was like
Ooh.
struggling to read. I was like, yeah,
GraceLea, if you were
there.
struggling to read, I might have to
Which
take a week off work
I feel like
to unpack
I
it.
feel like it was hard for me to follow because I don't know the Eldils were going like everywhere. They were like talking to Ransom, and they were like the main character's name is Ransom,
Mm.
which I think is
Okay.
very powerful. Ransom.
Oh. I listen. I saw the series at a secondhand bookstore that I love going to because it's the Book Rack in Jackson.
Mm-hmm.
If you're ever in Jackson,
I'll put that in my
please
notes.
go. It is packed full of
You
books.
know where is not a good place to go in Jackson for secondhand books?
Where
I just never really find a lot when I go there. Is impression books.
I've never even heard of that.
It's
That
like very
impression books.
yeah.
I'm gonna check it out,
It's
even
like
though you said
very
there's not
it's
a
like a
lot of good books.
storefront. The storefront is kind of like underwhelming and like I mean if you like to go there, like hey,
Mm.
you have books that you like that are there, but I don't have books that I like that are because I'm more like an old vintage book, like
Mm-hmm.
classics. I've been reading a lot of classics recently. I read The Animal Farm the other week. When the wall when they look at the wall and the wall says all animals are equal, but some are more equal than others.
Hmm.
Kind of spoiler alert there, but hey,
I'll put up a
yeah.
spoiler warning for the Animal Farm. um, but I was about to say something. I want to go there next time I'm in Jackson. Even though you said it's not good, I want to at least go once. But in the book rack, I
Girl, do
walked.
not take me.
I was looking in the classic section of the book rack, and I saw the Space Trilogy by C.S. Lewis, and I had never heard of it. Because I've looked up C.S. Lewis's books before, and I saw the normal the Screw Tape Letters, Mere Christianity, all of those books, but I had never
I love screw tape letters.
I've never seen or heard of the Space Trilogy, and they had them right there. I snatched them up so quick. I think I only got them for $5
Hmm.
for the three. It was
Wow.
either $3 for the three or $5 for.
I got mine for Christmas.
Ooh, but I snatched them up so quick. And then literally the next Sunday, the Sunday, I probably went on a Saturday, a Thursday or a Saturday. And literally the next Sunday, Gracie was like, I just finished the Space
This
Trilogy by C.S.
yes.
Lewis. Have you read them? And I was like, no way. I just bought them. Didn't even know they were a thing. So yeah, I'm excited to read them.
Yeah.
It'll have to wait until next year because I'm going to be very busy
Yeah.
until.
Have you read the screw tape letters?
I haven't.
I went to a ballet. about the Screwtape Letters.
Oh, that had to have been
It's
so cool.
very interesting.
That had to have
I
been so
loved it.
cool.
It was Bella Magnificat.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I have been to one
You
with
know
her.
me. You
She's
know
my
I love Ballet
hookup.
Magnificat. Yes.
I went to one ballet with you. Have I gone to one or two plays with you?
2. You went to wait, 1?
I know I went to The
Went to
Sound of
one.
Music.
We went to Sound of Music, and that was St. Patrick's Day.
I do remember that. Listen, it was
Oh,
St. Patrick's Day.
and we were like
Running
Midtown
through
Jackson
downtown Jackson.
with the St. Patty's Day parade on the block.
Half the streets were blocked off. There were so many people you
My
couldn't
mom
drive
was
through.
stressing out.
Her mom was stressing
And
out.
we were in
Your
the
dad, listen, your dad
My
couldn't
dad wasn't
go with
there.
us.
Yeah.
And I think that's why I could go because I
Yeah.
used his
You had your
ticket.
ticket, yeah.
So we
And
were
then
like,
we were just in the back seat singing Bruce.
and listen, they're really good about getting there on time, but like with the traffic and everything, which we didn't know was going on, we had to park like forever away. We're running through the streets during St. Patrick's Day parade in downtown Jackson, trying to get to the theater before the Sound of Music starts.
Everything is green.
Everything is green. And listen, we were like running. I'm like, it's like GraceLea, no, her mom, and then GraceLea, and then me. I think we're like running, like in a line. And then I see an old friend from school. She left in like 5th grade, and I hadn't seen her in years. And I'm like, oh my gosh, it's so good to see you, but I gotta go. So I like hug her real quick. And I'm like, how are you? It's so good to see you. I'm so glad I got to see you. I gotta go. And then we walk in, looking behind. I think it's you. I don't know if you remember this. And you're looking behind, seeing where I'm at. I'm like trailing behind. I might have been behind your mom. You could have been in front of her. I don't remember, but like I'm trying to catch up with y'all and get to the theater. And then you're like, "Where are you at?"
And then
I just saw a friend from school from like 5 years ago.
And then we walk in, and then like Maria is being talked about by the nuns are talking about Maria. I'm like, oh, okay, fun times. We're here.
We finally made it. That was a very interesting. But then later we went to, what ballet did we see? Was it a Christmas one or was it?
Yeah.
Ooh. What was it? I want to say it was a Christmas one.
Yeah.
I forget what the name of the actual ballet was.
I think it was Light Has Come.
Sounds right. Sounds about right. That time we were there on time and it was a lot less stressful.
Yeah.
But
I love a Christmas ballet.
And I also got to go see the Nutcracker a couple years ago.
I went and got to see the Nutcracker with Sis Meg last December in Florida.
I'm seriously gonna talk to Sister Megan though. I might text her today and be like, "Hey, I have a question about the Chronicles of Narnia," or somebody. I don't know. I'm sure. I know she's read them, but I don't know if very many people who've read them. Like I'm sure a lot of people have.
Yeah, I feel like more people than we know.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, put your theories in the comments below.
Yes.
I
would love for. I know a lot of the people that watch my videos right now are from this church.
Yeah.
But I can't sit down and talk with the whole church. So, if y'all have anything to add, and I get enough comments, I might do another video of just reading comments.
Interesting.
And so that eventually when I get more viewers, if people are like, come back and I don't know.
Yeah.
If I have anything to add, I guess, to the other. I'm glad you said that. Okay, is that it?
Click that like button.
Thank you.
Like and subscribe.
Thank you so much. Is there anything you would like to... I
have not subscribed. Sorry, I don't have YouTube. I don't have YouTube, guys. I don't have YouTube account. I'm sorry. I'm subscribed in the spirit.
In the spirit. She's subscribed in the spirit. Oh, okay. I think that's it.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm so glad we got to sit down.
This was so much fun.
I almost wish I could sit down with Cassidy again because ours was so all over the place that and it was so rushed because she had to rush and go do something right after.
Well, you have to go do something as well.
I do have to go do something as well in an hour. I need to go home and change. So it's up here though at the church, so it's fine. But yeah, I guess that's it. I'm so glad. I really liked this recording a
Yes,
lot.
this was very fun. I like these little mics because they're like so like dainty
Yes.
and stuff.
Right now is an hour and 38 minutes before editing. I feel like we didn't mess up as much as I normally do when I'm recording by myself. So it might end up, this might be its own video, maybe
Yeah.
2 videos because it's so long. But yeah, yes, that's
Yeah.
everything. And I'm very excited to sit down with you with some more books when I
Yes.
eventually get around to reading
Yes,
some.
please. Oh
Some
my
more.
goodness. I don't know, girl, because I'm gonna be pretty busy this next year.
Mm-hmm. I know I'm going to be busy at least until January, and I'm sure my schedule will busify itself again. Like I told you and Alexis.
Bizify.
I told y'all Friday, I was like, I know after everything, it's not the end all to all my problems, but right now I'm very busy. I know I'll still be busy. Life is busy. Life is full of trouble, but life is just full of things that
Sure.
happen.
Yeah.
But right now, gosh, I'm gonna be busy until the end of the year. So my YouTube channel is gonna have to take a back seat, but it's okay. I'll be back eventually.
I wanna be in a backseat.
Okay,
Sorry. Backseat driver just yeah. Anyways.
But yeah, I'm so glad you sat down with me, and I gained a
Very
lot.
fun.
I
Very
learned a
fun
lot
time in the Lord.
in the Lord. Hallelujah.
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 Alrighty.
All right. Anyways.
Yeah, good to see you.